For those of you that are interested in getting into pretty much any creative field, but video and animation specifically, since that's the background I come from, but also graphic designers or web designers, any kind of design that could have any kind of corporate application. If you enter into any of these fields, it's only a matter of time before you are handed a brand Bible. And I realize that not all schools are necessarily going to tell you what a brand Bible is, so I just thought I would go over that real quickly. A brand Bible or brand guidelines is a set of rules that a company has developed about how you as a designer are allowed to represent them visually. And these guidelines can be as simple as, here's our logo and the different ways you can use our logo, here's the font we use, and here are our brand colors. And pretty much any brand Bible is going to be at minimum those three things: logo, font, colors. But depending on the company, a brand Bible can be quite complicated and involved and can include all kinds of gradients and types of imagery you can use and how close you can put them to each other, how many pixels you need to have around the logo, where you can put the logo inside of a design. So depending on the company, you can have a lot of rules that you have to follow to meet their specific brand guidelines. But this is part of designing for a client, is having a framework within which you need to create your work for your client. And I personally find that having a certain set of limitations is actually a fantastic place to start designing from. When you have absolutely no restrictions on what you can design, it can be incredibly difficult to figure out a place to start. When everything is an option, where do you begin? So I actually find that it's incredibly helpful to have at least a few guidelines on where to start thinking about your designs for a client. Interesting piece of trivia, since we're in an election year, Barack Obama was actually the first politician to ever have a brand Bible. And since his campaign, it's become incredibly common for politicians to have brand Bibles. And I think you've seen that probably if you've been paying attention to politics at all over the last decade or so. Politicians have much more polished logos now than they used to. They have much cleaner style guides that they apply to their marketing. And it is the same as you would market a company or a product. You're selling ideas, you're selling a person. It's all part of the process of marketing that shapes how we make decisions. Politics is just another branch of that. But little sideline since it's election year. But brand guidelines apply to everything. You know, politicians, products, companies, people go to very great lengths to create a visual language that tells the specific story that they're trying to tell about their product or service or politician or company. They spend a lot of time and do a lot of research and spend a lot of money figuring out what kind of imagery, what kind of colors, what kind of fonts people in their target demographic respond to. So it can actually be really interesting to see the types of guidelines that different companies put on their designers with their brand Bible. So anyway, that's what a brand Bible is, and that's what it's for, and there are a couple of practical applications of a brand Bible. So if you didn't come across that term in school, now you know, and you'll be better prepared entering into basically any creative industry where you're creating design for corporate clients. Hope that helped.